Now at 10, how the Joplin Chamber of Commerce is trying to draw more remote workers to the city. Plus, authorities in Woodson County, Kansas continue cleanup efforts after a train derailment last week. And to kick off spring, the Future Farmers of America in Neosho, Missouri host their annual plant sale.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Some remote workers in Joplin met earlier today to connect with each other in the city. That was listed in the second place on the Wall Street Journal's top 10 places for remote workers back in February. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Jalen Banks. KOAM Jean DeHaldela talked with the Workers, Chamber of Commerce, and a local employment office about the remote work in town.
Joplin area remote workers gather for their first social event at the Chaos Brewing Company downtown.
There's other people that are kind of doing the same things as a framework that you can get connected with, because sometimes it's even just working collaboratively, quote unquote, together, maybe on different verticals, but you have that community around you to help support you and bounce ideas so you can still get that personal touch and connections locally.
Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce officials say the central location and housing costs are some of the factors that attract remote workers.
During the transition post-pandemic, allowed everyone to work remotely. So those families at that point in time really looked at their income and cost of living and thought, where could we go to leverage that?
Andy Griffith says there's a variety of places to change work environments.
We have things like the public library, which has study rooms that are available, and coffee shops as well.
Joplin's Missouri Job Center is seeing demand for remote jobs. However, more employers are asking to work back in the office. Barriers to work in office can be lack of childcare and transportation, according to officials.
Looking for remote work or looking for part-time jobs. There seems to be a trend of either working remotely from home or having those 1 or 2 part-time jobs as opposed to 1 full-time.
Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce supports remote workers by providing working space.
We have 2 co-working space areas, co-working east and west. So we have a hot desk and then dedicated desk for those that want to be there on a more permanent basis.
In Joplin, Janna Hautala, KOAM News.
The Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce wants to support remote workers in the area and is providing free day passes to the Joseph Newman Innovation Center tomorrow. Woodson County is dealing with the aftermath of a train derailment that happened on Monday. The Union Pacific train hauled 97 cars in total. 21 of them were damaged or destroyed. The train was transporting cottonseed, plastic pellets, and fertilizer. The cleanup crew is taking precautions to see if the hazardous material is present.
Then we had outside sources from the hazmat teams coming in. KDHE, EPA came in. They worked through the night. I think they've been working through the night straight through.
KOAM received a statement from the EPA. They say crews recovered approximately 1,000 gallons of fertilizer from the spill and delivered it to the intended recipient. They also say there was no impact on South Owl Creek or a nearby residence. And now to weather, Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy joins us.
Well, it's been a gloomy day for us today, and we've had some very light showers across the region, but it's better than nothing because we definitely need the rain. 68 for a high, 72 is our normal high. Started at 45 degrees. And if we look outside, you can see these bands of light, very light showers, which are working through and will continue to as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. I do think they'll tick up a little bit later on tonight, but if we look through the metro, very just light showers across Joplin, Carthage, Neosho, Miami, up toward Pittsburgh. And if we go through the night, you can see the showers will start to tick up a little bit. This is late, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and we'll get a little heavier batch, which is at least going to get to the I-44 corridor, very scattered north of that, and we'll see those scattered showers lasting through the morning hours for us tomorrow. When are we going to dry out? Even though we haven't had much rain, we're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Missouri Southern students today pitched ideas for projects to give back to the community. It's part of the MOSO CAPS program. Student associates design capstone projects, either individually or as a group, that are service-minded and showcase creativity. Today, the students pitched those ideas and people were able to vote on their favorites. Some Carthage, Missouri elementary students stepped into the shoes of famous Missourians. Mark Twain Elementary hosted a live museum event where third graders showcased their knowledge. The students have prepared for the event for months by conducting research, creating costumes, and rehearsing their lines for their presentations. We had asked some of the students what their favorite part of the project was.
About like talking about like my famous Missourians. Pretending to be president and also getting to wear my snazziest suit around here.
The event lasted 30 minutes. Future Farmers of America students in Neosho, Missouri showcased their green thumb today. The group hosted its annual plant sale, with all proceeds going back to the FFA. A wide variety of plants were up for grabs. All of them were cared for by the students over the past few months.
I've learned to really be appreciative of what you get to do and to be able to help all these people. Even if you don't know them, it's still a great, amazing experience.
The plant sale will continue tomorrow from 3 to 6 p.m. Coming up, why the Montana House of Representatives voted to ban a lawmaker from taking part in debates. Plus, the Pentagon says the ISIS leader responsible for an attack during the withdrawal from Afghanistan has been killed. The nation's highly charged debate over transgender rights exploded into view in Montana as House lawmakers there voted a ban to Representative Zoe Zephyr from the floor after an impassioned debate. The vote was the culmination of events that started last week when Zephyr, the state's first openly transgender lawmaker, said her colleagues would have blood on their hands if they banned gender-affirming medical care. Saying her remarks were inappropriate, Republican leaders barred her from House debates and demanded an apology. Walt Disney Parks and Resorts is suing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and the board he appointed to oversee Disney's special taxing district. Disney says the Republican weaponized his political power to punish the company for exercising its free speech rights. The federal lawsuit was filed minutes after DeSantis' board voted to nullify an agreement between Disney and the previous board in February, just before that board's dissolution. The Pentagon has confirmed a senior ISIS leader responsible for a deadly attack on Americans and Afghans during the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan has been killed. Reporter Nicole Saganga has the story from Washington, D.C.
A suicide bomber killed 13 American service members in 2021 at Afghanistan's main airport in Kabul during the final U.S. withdrawal. Now, almost 2 years later, the U.S. Defense Department confirms the ISIS leader who planned the attack is dead, killed in a firefight with the Taliban earlier this month.
It's one less terrorist that we have to worry about.
Darren Hoover is the father of Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover, who died from the blast.
To me, it won't be justice ever.
The Taliban apparently did not realize who they'd killed, but U.S. intelligence found out. Still, agents have not released a name. 45 other servicemen and women were wounded and at least 170 Afghan civilians killed in the August 2021 attack.
I opened my eyes to Marines dead or unconscious lying around me.
Former Marine Tyler Vargas Andrews was hit by more than 100 ball bearings. He believes more could have been done to prevent the attack.
The 11 Marines, 1 sailor, and 1 soldier that were murdered that day have not been answered for.
He remains frustrated that no government officials have been held to account for the chaotic withdrawal. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, Washington.
A little later, we'll learn how thousands of volunteers work together to maintain our country's national parks.
Plus, we're going to have some light showers sticking around tonight and tomorrow. Those details coming up. Well, it turned out to be kind of a gloomy day for us today. Of course, we've had the clouds and some very light showers across the region, but some of us are at least getting a little bit of rain. You can see the roads or parking lot is wet. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri, but we do have these light showers which are kind of sticking around. All right, temperatures, it's chilly. 60 Nevada, Carthage 55, Miami 53, Neosho 56. Pittsburgh sitting at 59 degrees. 7th and Rangeline, a little wet out there, not wet. 55, easterly winds are light. Humidity is at 69%. Through the rest of the night, we're going to have these hit and miss showers. Temperatures are going to drop back right around 50 for an overnight low. And you can see these bands of very light showers which continue to work through the region. Overall, they've been kind of falling apart over the past couple hours. A little more concentration once you get up toward Nevada and also Stockton Lake. But if we zoom into the metro, this is really just kind of light sprinkles going on right now, but these will pick up a little bit for us later on tonight, which we will be happy to see. But you can see these very light showers. And once you get down through Texas, that's where we've had the severe weather. Next storm system, which isn't going to do a bunch for us, but it is dropping into the northern parts of the plains and will start to affect us by the time we head into late Friday. All right, rain chances, they sneak up in the morning. So here's 7 a.m., here's 10 a.m., here's 1 p.m., 4 p.m. You can see they start to trail off once we get into the afternoon hours. So if we go through time, just very light showers for most of the rest of the night. Here's 4:30 in the morning. Showers picking up northeastern Oklahoma and along and south of the I-44 corridor. Through the morning, we get this little tiny batch of light showers which work through. So here's 9:30, kind of pushing mainly on the Missouri side by the noon hour, and then just kind of hit and miss showers as we get into the afternoon. But look at our temps. We're only into the upper 50s. A little bit of clearing tomorrow night, not much, but a little bit. And then we'll start the day on Friday with a little bit of sunshine, then the clouds thicken up again. Here comes this next wave. Watch these showers as they push through. I think they're really just going to kind of die and fall apart. So I have chances for rain on Friday evening fairly low. I think we'll have some light little showers out there. I just don't think it's going to amount to very much. All right, day planner for you tomorrow. 53 at 9, 57 by 1, 58 by 5 p.m. So it's a chilly day, and we have those showers most of the day. Rainfall amounts with this wave tonight and then into Friday. I mean, it's pretty low. Oklahoma, southwestern Missouri, we may get some areas that pick up a half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, but our northern counties, not much at all. So this isn't going to really put much of a dent into our drought. All right, 58 tomorrow, 67 Friday, 68 Saturday. Most of the weekend looks pretty good. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday overall pretty good. Chances for thunderstorms Thursday and Friday. And we do warm back up. Highs in the 70s to near 80 late next week.
Obviously, slightly disappointing news because of the light rain that we'll be getting, but some awesome weather to be looking forward to in the next few days.
It's very true.
All right, thank you, Doug.
Yep.
In celebration of Earth Month, we're taking you to the great outdoors to explore the incredible things happening in our national parks. Reporter Nicole D'Antonio takes us to the front lines of the environmental protection, where it takes a team of thousands of volunteers to preserve hundreds of parks.
From sea to shining sea, from rocky canyons to rushing waters and marshy swamps, National Park Week started more than 30 years ago and is now celebrated every April during Earth Month. More than 300,000 people volunteered to help the National Park Service manage the parks. Volunteer Dave Jacobson says he first got involved after he retired.
Most everybody that I come across here, they're in a good mood and they're having a good day. And the reason they're having a good day is because they're here.
The National Park Service hopes to restore the number of visitors to pre-pandemic levels. But today, there are about 15 million fewer visitors than before the pandemic.
This view is a big reason why people travel to visit Great Falls Park. And this is one of more than 400 national parks all across the country.
Maria Stursiker, a National Park Service ranger, started as a volunteer.
My nature was I played soccer. I thought the grass was nature, and that was good enough.
In addition to volunteering, the National Park Service encourages people to use the campsites, get involved in park conservation, or just walk around for a day.
We have 3 kids, and so we planned an us day, and we make it a special occasion. So this us day, we was going straight to Great Falls.
The park rangers say the fresh air, sunshine, and their distinct differences are key components to each of our national parks. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Great Falls, Virginia.
Well, some national parks charge a fee. You can also purchase an annual pass for just $80. Still ahead, we'll hear from the Missouri Southern softball team as they try for their first conference championship in more than 20 years. And Columbus High School twins enjoy their final season as teammates before going their separate ways for college. Jacob Leonard has that story and more next. The Missouri Southern Lions are tied for first place in the MIAA softball standings heading into the final weekend of the regular season. Southern is 19-3 in the league, even with Central Oklahoma for the top spot in the conference. Now, this weekend is a big weekend for the Lions. They got 2 games against Newman on Friday before facing Central Oklahoma for a pair of games on Saturday. UCO plays Pittsburgh State Friday before their matchup with the Lions the following day. All Missouri Southern has to do, win more games than Central Oklahoma this weekend, and they'll earn their first conference championship since 2001.
One of our biggest strengths, I would say, is the family camaraderie that we have on this team. You know, we play together and you don't get that everywhere you go, and I think that is a special thing because we have each other's backs on and off the field, and so when we show up to play, you see it.
We've got leadership, we've got experience, we're a tight-knit group, and you know, moving forward, I think clutch hits, you know, winning championships comes down to good pitching, flawless defense, and clutch hits, and I think we can do it. You know, we've got to keep things simple and in our one-pitch approach.
A pair of Columbus High School seniors pretty much done everything together since they were born. Addie and Aubrey Saporita are multi-sport standouts for the Titans. After spending their entire lives competing together, the twins are enjoying their final weeks as teammates before they head their separate ways for college. Columbus High School seniors Addie and Aubrey Saporito have pushed each other their entire lives.
They're both extremely competitive. Neither of them ever want to be outdone by the other one.
They've helped each other.
If I need to go pitch, then I have a catcher literally sitting on my couch with me. For her, like, I'm constantly drugged. We have a wrestling mat in our basement. I'm constantly down there with her, you know, taking shots. It doesn't give us an excuse to be like, oh, I don't have anyone to go with me, because we have someone. We have to.
And the twins have been side by side through it all.
There's not very many people that get this chance and have this opportunity to be able to play together and do everything together and always have a best friend with them.
I've told them that, you know, this will be something that will be important, and, you know, memories that they'll always have, and a best friend that they always have that's right there whether they know it or not.
We've been able to confide in each other, and through like the rough games and even the good games, we're like, yes, that was working so good. Or she's like, Aubrey, that curve just spun so hard. But so she's kind of like, we both kind of hype each other up, and we're always there for each other. It means a lot.
After spending their lives together on the court, on the mat, and on the field, this softball season is their final season as teammates. The sisters will go separate ways in college, with Aubrey continuing her softball career at Crowder and Addie moving on to wrestle at Ottawa University.
It's kind of sad, but at the same time, we're both going after this to do what we love. Definitely be pretty weird, but I think we'll get used to it because we're both going to be super busy, and yeah, and just knowing that we're both in good places and in good hands is also reassuring.
This spring is also the final time the Saporito twins will get to play for their mother, who has led the Columbus softball program since 2011.
I try to push it out of my mind and not think about it until you're asking questions. But yeah, it's definitely something that I've thought about, and you know, just trying to not think about until it's all over with.
She's coached us since we were in T-ball. She's like a mom to half of those girls on that team as well. So I think it definitely has maybe even made our team more of a family.
They're best friends with all these girls. So you know, we've got to grow up with all of them. Jalen has been like a sister to him, you know, all these years. And when I think about it, you know, it's the girls and it's their teammates that, you know, all of them being together is going to be the roughest part, I think.
Columbus is 13-1 this softball season, winning 11 consecutive games. The Titans are back on the field tomorrow night for a big CNC doubleheader against Girard. The Kansas City Royals finish up their series with the Diamondbacks tonight. The Royals have a chance to pick up their second series win of the season after splitting the first 2 games of the series with Arizona. And that game is final. Kansas City falls 2-0. It's the 6th time the Royals have been shut out in their first 25 games. Next up for the Royals, they open a 4-game series against the Twins tomorrow night. In the National League, Game 3 of a 4-game series tonight between the Cardinals and the Giants. The Cards have dropped each of the first 2. Tonight, St. Louis down 3-2 in the top of the 6th. Paul Goldschmidt is 3 for 3 with a pair of solo home runs. I want to go back to the Saporito story, Addie and Aubrey, and obviously their coach and mother, Amy. I've gotten a message from their dad, and he said,
great story, but when are you going to do a story on the dad that has to put up with all three of them in the same place? So I thought that was very funny. But, it's a great group, two great kids, two talented kids, and that's a great group to have over there in Columbus.
Yeah, and then back to his message earlier in the 9, we had talked about them. We talked about, how does the mom have to block everything out, and then literally her husband is having to manage all of them at the same time.
It takes all of them, but they're fun to be around. I know.
Yeah, absolutely. Best of luck to them the rest of the season. All right, that's a look for sports. We're back with more after this. Friends and family came to Columbus, Kansas today to celebrate the birthday of a World War II veteran. David Martin turned 96 today. Martin served in the Navy and was stationed in Japan. He joined when he was 17. His son says it's great to see him be celebrated.
It's great. He's lived this long. He deserves this. He's been there for many years, serving his country and serving the city many years.
The American Legion came to today's celebration to hand him an award for being a member for 75 years. 96 years old.
I can't imagine going into the military at 17.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Doug, what do you have for us some weather?
All right, on and off light showers for us tonight. They are going to be fairly light. Oh, you guys don't want to look at that, do you? Let me hit the space bar. And temperatures are going to be chilly for us tomorrow, high of only 58. Maybe a random shower late Friday, but look at the weekend shaping up pretty good.
Yeah, those temps look beautiful. Leonard, what did
Regional rankings out today for Division II softball. Missouri Southern sits at number 2 behind only Central Oklahoma. Pittsburgh State softball sitting at number 10.
All right, so this weekend we've got perfect weather for softball and hopefully a conference championship.
And it's an important one. All they got to do is beat Central Oklahoma. Newman first.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Let's make it a great evening.